You mentioned Jeff Skinner. I know you had a stat yesterday from the game of kind
he
of...
wasn't on the ice for a single shot attempt in favor of the Oilers, and I'm not really. I use stats, but I'm not the kind of guy who you look at your numbers and that defines the entire player. But to play 10 or minutes of even strength and not have a single shot attempt in favor of your team is a rough look.
Do you think that's on Skinner or his line mates?
I don't know if he's in the right position right now on the fourth or third line, the players that he's playing with, but I also don't think he's warranted enough to be in the top six. He hasn't been better than Podkolzin, and he hasn't been better than Kapanen.
No, he's certainly not been. Last night, Jeff Skinner played 11 minutes and 21 seconds. I would assume a couple of those minutes were on second unit power play, maybe 30 seconds of it. Like you said, no shots, 14 shifts. He's not played in his last 5 games. The most he's played is 13 minutes and 10 seconds, which was against Minnesota, which was a blowout game.
Yeah.
And they didn't even play him 15 minutes.
Do you light a fire under his ass by scratching him for a couple of games? Do you just piss him off? Like, I don't know how to approach this with a veteran player who's coming here on a 1-year deal, but you think Connor Brown last year, there was high expectations for him signing a bigger contract with that performance bonus, and he wasn't scoring and wasn't doing much in the first half of the year, and he wound up watching games from the press box and improved in the second half.
Yeah, and Skinner's not a guy who's really sat out many games throughout his career. I know, like, obviously the storyline is like he
always plays for bad teams.
Never played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
12 points in 31 games so far this season, 6 goals. Since the start of December, he has 2 goals, 2 assists in 2, 4, 6, 7 games. As a third line player, that production is actually not that bad.
Solid point from Calvin here. Holy F, if Fogle and or McLeod had 6 goals at this point, we would have been so happy. Remember the cardio line? Fair.
I totally agree. And I just think the expectations, again, when we got Jeff Skinner, it's like, finally, we got this like buyout guy that's like clearly going to be good, because we all saw what Matt Duchene did for Dallas the year before and many other players before that. And so you get Skinner, and like, it takes a while to adjust.
Season's not over. I'm not saying that because Skinner's had a bad game or that he's had, an up and down start, that it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
That's why I use Connor Brown as an example. This time last year, everyone was comfortable putting Connor Brown on waivers, having him traded to make cap room, whatever it was. And then 6 months later, everyone was thrilled when he re-signed. Things change quickly, and Jeff Skinner can absolutely turn things around. But it's possible to consider that maybe he has to watch the game from the press box a couple of times.
Should the Oilers go find a third line center?
And then use Henrique as a winger, or what?
I think you could use him as a winger, or maybe as your fourth line center. Like, if they could go out.
Forward's not the need.
I would disagree.
I think it's
we're talking about lineup discussion that you're going to have Arvidsson come back.
Yeah.
You will have Kane come back. And we're already talking about Skinner's playing well, but Brown's playing well.
But I think if they could get more out of that third line center, like Henrique, I think is a good enough player to be in your 12, obviously. But if you were able to upgrade on there, the cap is going to go up next season. So his $2 million cap hit doesn't really matter if you're able to get someone with a little bit of term. I don't have an example. Maybe I should have come a bit more prepared, but like, I just wonder if like they're like, okay, let's double down on this. Let's go get another one, because I know people are going to be like, and like Aaron just said, it's like they have guys coming back, but they're still going to have about 3-4 million at the deadline. You can make that work and get like 2
Morgan Frost
players
from Philadelphia. I'm just looking at Frank's most recent
a little bit more
daily
skill.
face-off trade targets list. I'm just the number 1 center he's got on the list. This is from back in November, late November. Morgan Frost from Philadelphia was the number 1 forward there. Yanni Gord from Seattle is an interesting one.
That is an interesting.
He has a lot of playoff experience. Josh Norris from the Ottawa Senators. I don't know if that would happen.
I don't think so.
They've turned their season around a little bit.
He's too offensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he's the defensive center they're looking for. I like the Yanni Gord idea.
I do too, and he makes $5 million.
5 or 5.5.
He plays with piss and vinegar.
Exactly.
Yeah. A rat to play a game.
5.166 salary cap hit, and he's a pending UFA.
Okay, so you figure that out, and not you particularly, but the Oilers figure that out.
Send a fax to Stan Bowman, and I'll be like, hey man, I've figured it out.
Half retained, 2.5, whatever it would be. Get it retained again, get down to $2 million, whatever you can do there.
Yeah.
It's a very doable thing, and I know if you want to make a little bit more money work, like maybe you just call up Noah Philp as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we just said Henry go to the 4th line, but like maybe you make him a winger. I don't know. Like Henry's boots on the best.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.